So what was the thing that you wanted to add?
I just wanted to add for those who are starting out to ask for help, and then also if you, for example, if you need something, let's say I recently for this new occasion I needed help with my signs. Those are expensive.
I bet.
They're like $2,000 and up.
Oh man.
And I have five. So imagine that. But just know that there's companies that are willing to help you out too. And don't, try it and kind of ask them. So one of the things that I did, I kind of, with this company who helped me out with my sign, I was like, hey, I don't have that much money. I just started. Is there a way to help me out in payments and things like that?
Yeah.
And they said, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So if you do things like that,
be willing to ask.
Willing to ask. And those people who really, see something in you or have the potential, like they'll be willing to help you out. Especially because at one point it reminded them of, when they started.
Yeah, they were in the same shoes at one point.
Yeah. So I think, that's one thing that I want to give out. Like, don't be scared to ask for help, and trying to see how each business could help each other out or exchange services too.
Yeah. People
it's a good one.
Overlook the fact that you can just barter.
Yeah.
Like for, an exchange, because people always think it's about the dollar bills or you got to exchange money for a service.
Yeah,
but
no.
if you can find a way to it's all about finding a way to create a win-win. So, because then, if you can create a win-win, why wouldn't they work with you?
Yeah. And you just, you have to, because you're going to feel good at the end of the day. You help someone out.
Yeah.
And not just that, but it's more blessings to you, to your business.
Yeah.
And another thing is you just want to stay humble with it, even though as a business owner, I try and stay humble about things.
Yeah, it's easy to be like, I'm a business owner.
Yeah,
I'm a business owner. Then expenses come. Shit, I'm a business owner.
Yes, and you know what's the best part too? When I'm here at the studio, I don't look like I look like I work here, and I'm not the owner. So it's interesting how some people, hey, can I talk to the owner? I was like, yes, how can I help you?
You're looking at her.
You're looking at her. And they're so amazed because, one, I'm young and I'm a woman, a young entrepreneur.
Yeah, how old are you?
I just turned 27.
27 and not got a business?
Yes. Yeah, I started with my own company. I started at 24. Damn. So I started CrystalArts Dance Academy August 19, 2015.
Yeah. Holy shit, I'm jealous of you. I started my business much later than you. Fuck, you're like so far ahead of the curve. Can I break your legs?
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding.
I'm still gonna succeed whether.
Wow. See, and the fact, here's what the thing that amazes me is that, one, a lot of people we're kind of like in the same generation, are very impatient, and then it just goes back to the fact that you're young and patient. And you have very strong work ethic. And I think those are elements that a lot of people lack, especially being young. Especially like when they're 20s. I don't know if you see it on Instagram, but there's a whole like memes that are like talking about having to make it at a certain age. You know what I mean? Like, by 21 I have to have this happen. By 30 I have to have this happen. There's like a lot of pressure, societal pressure mainly. Like you have to be financially independent by 24 or something like that. So, and I think the fact that you were patient, you accepted that this is going to be a long game, it kind of just fell into place, so to speak.
Yeah, it did.
Versus people, because you said it earlier, don't force the issue. Like people who rush they are forced the issue, push the result further away.
Yeah.
So.
I agree with that. Yeah.
27, dude? I'm jealous as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
What was I doing at 27?
Huh?
I'm trying to figure out
What were you
what I
doing
was
at 27?
figuring out my life.
Well, you know what? It's everyone has their own time, and there's times where something has to happen in your life to make that change. I feel like, or sometimes someone gets it sooner, or it takes them longer, but it doesn't mean that you're not gonna get there.
Yeah, people get caught up with comparison. They're like, oh, such and such is already buying a house, such and such is getting married, and I'm like, and then I was talking about this in a previous podcast, like, it's everyone has their own timing. Yeah, definitely. And for me, it was like I want my own dance studio first before I even move out. Wow. Because I do want my own place, but it's like I'd rather have my own dance studio. That's fucking cool. You were like so set on this vision, it like manifested. Yeah, and it's crazy, but it works. Yeah. I love it. It brings me alive, Yeah. Keeps me up and keeps me moving forward, and sometimes you forget about all the things that that the process. It's easy to forget about what you've achieved because you're so busy trying to make things happen. Yeah, and you do get like that sometimes. You get overwhelmed, and then people remind you, and you're like, "Damn, that's right." That's such an important thing to have, is a good support system of people to remind you how good you are. Because being a business owner or entrepreneur in general, it's a lonely journey. Regular people with regular jobs can't relate. No, it's the equivalent of parents trying to talk to non-parents. They can't relate. They don't. It's a level of understanding they don't get yet. No, and I actually was having a conversation with my dad. Someone's telling you to do this and that, but where are they? Yeah. You can't compare yourself to someone else who's not even at your level or who has not done what you've done. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Man, I feel like I just talked about that, but I'm pretty sure I said it in another podcast. This is my third podcast today, folks. So I'm pretty sure I'm mixing up my timeline of what I've said. I think we both are.